Moments ago, President Trump took questions aboard Air Force One before deplaning in Bedminster, New Jersey. He spoke about easing tensions between India and Pakistan. Watch.
But we solved the big problem, a nuclear problem, potentially, with India and with Pakistan. And I spoke to Pakistan, I spoke to India. They have really great leaders. But they were going at it, and they could have gone at it nuclear, both nuclear countries, strong nuclear countries. And they talked about trade, and I said, we're not doing trade if you guys are going to be throwing bombs at each other, and they both stopped.
Earlier, my colleague Newsmax host Bob Sellers sat down with chairman of the Pakistan People's Party, member of the National Assembly of Pakistan, and former foreign minister of Pakistan, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. Watch.
Chairman, it's great to have you with us. We appreciate it. Give us a situation right now. Pakistan, India, obviously there have been some problems, especially in recent weeks and months. Tell me how things are right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. At the moment, we've achieved a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, thanks to the role played by President Trump and his team, Secretary Rubio. And that's a big achievement. The U.S. deserves credit for that. But this, at the moment, we have achieved a ceasefire, but we haven't achieved peace. And we're actually in a situation in South Asia right now where we're less safe than we were before this conflict. The threshold for full-out war between India and Pakistan has severely decreased as a result of this. The current state of play is if there's a terrorist attack anywhere in India or anywhere in Indian-occupied Kashmir, it means war between India and Pakistan, and that's not sustainable.
Well, and of course, the real danger is that we're talking about nuclear powers.
Absolutely.
And any escalation could truly lead to something devastating.
Very dangerous.
So what needs to be done to bring peace, not just a ceasefire?
So when Pakistan agreed to this ceasefire, we did so while communicating with the United States. And we were communicated that this would just be the start, and we'd work towards a permanent peace through dialogue and diplomacy. In a neutral location, we'd discuss all friction points with India. And I'm confident that the President of the United States shares that vision. The Secretary of State shares that vision. But I also suspect that the Indian government will try and sabotage the President's efforts. So we're hopeful that that sabotage doesn't succeed, and we can work together to achieve peace. And just like President Trump played a role in achieving this ceasefire, we're looking to the U.S. to play a role in encouraging their friend and ally India to have a dialogue with Pakistan, talk to them as a friend, and explain that the current state of play doesn't serve their interest, doesn't serve our interest, and it doesn't serve U.S. interests in the region.
If you could explain to Americans that may not be right on top of the issues that go on between India and Pakistan, I think most people that follow it to any extent know that Kashmir has always been a conflict area.
Yeah.
Is that what needs to be addressed primarily, or are there other things that need to go along with it?
I think as part of any comprehensive dialogue, we'll have to discuss all issues. Of course, we have to discuss Kashmir as a root issue, as a reason why India and Pakistan keep going to war, but also because if we keep ignoring Kashmir, they'll keep producing the cannon fodder for terrorists to use in such an event. So we have to talk Kashmir. We're happy to talk terrorism. Pakistan has CT cooperation with the United States. We've done a great job while working with them. The one country that the U.S. President thanked in his address to the joint session after he was elected president was Pakistan for our cooperation. If we don't talk to India about terrorism, we won't be able to cooperate on terror. And the third thing is water. India is weaponizing water. They've threatened to cut off the water supply for 240 million of people of Pakistan. That's a violation of the UN Charter. That's surely something that no one can support. And we're really looking to the international community to add their voice at ours in condemning India's decision to cut off our water and call upon them to take back that decision. If we are to start a dialogue, I'm confident that we can sort out the multitude of issues between us, create a peaceful environment, which will only, like, for example, the U.S. is talking trade with India, with Pakistan. If we have peace in the subcontinent, that trade deal will make sense. If we don't have peace in the subcontinent, if India is going to be trigger happy with potentially nuclear war, then that doesn't make sense for business. It doesn't make sense for the United States. It doesn't make sense for us, and it doesn't make sense for them.
What role do you think President Trump could play? You say he's played a role in a ceasefire. What do you think he should do, either directly or with people representing
I think
him?
that President Trump is the one man at the moment who can bring about peace between India and Pakistan. I think that there'll be a lot of...
Why do you think that?
I think his stature, his leadership qualities, and his vision supports peace. I think he's friends with Pakistan, he's friends with India, so he can talk to both of us as a friend and try and convince us to get along. But I also know there are a lot of entrenched interests here in Washington, and there are a lot of entrenched interests here in India who want to see us in a perpetual state of war because U.S. tax dollars subsidize the Indian economy, they sometimes subsidize the Indian military-industrial complex, all in the name of being this net security provider. They're worried if there's less war, there'll be less American tax dollars flowing in. But someone needs to explain to them that they can't have their economy subsidized forever. They can't have their military subsidized forever. If India and Pakistan make peace, we start trading, we'll all have the prosperity necessary to make the progress that we all demand.
Trade? How's that going now with the United States? We have the tariff things. I know the tariffs have been raised a good bit. What kind of conversations are going on? Where would you like to see this lead? I know the things the United States gets, textiles and rice and those kinds of things. Where do you see this going?
We are having a great conversation in trade. The tariff decision may have been a bad decision for other countries. For Pakistan, it's good because it means we're actually sitting with America and talking about trade rather than terrorism and war and all those other things that we used to be barring when this conflict went on. And now we have, for the first time, have an opportunity to talk in depth, see how we can expand the agricultural cooperation between the two countries. Pakistan has a wealth of mineral resources. We want to work with America to build the business in the mineral sector. There's the tech component where the world is our oyster as far as the potential that we can unlock on that front. But at the same time, for us to be successful in any of these things, if we have peace in the region, then businesses are going to progress. If we have peace in the region, I'm going to be able to convince American companies
to invest,
to come to Balochistan, to work over there like others are at the moment. If the Indian aggression is going to continue, if they're going to continue to support terrorist proxies in Balochistan that target those that invest in my country, then it's not going to create an environment that's conducive. Even if our trade talks go well.
All right. Chairman, thank you so much for being with us, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sir.
And